Hey there. So I'm back on day number 4. So over 72 hours now. Awesome. And though I'm still getting lots of thoughts and cravings, it's still difficult. I feel a lot better. Got a lot of good energy going. It's got a lot of momentum. So I like this. I like where this is going. I feel good. For this episode, I actually worked on more of points, things I want to talk about more than just, ranting, I guess, or just talking. So a little more guy this time. I wanted to talk about what's actually been helping me so far, because I feel like I've glossed over that, not glazed, but glossed over that. And I really need to touch on what am I doing to help, like what did help me with the open bar at work, things like that. So first thing, this project has, I feel like this is exactly what I needed to just bring in the change, force the change in my life that I wanted. It's really cool. It's really weird doing this, but it's a lot of fun so far. It's getting me thinking of, it's a way to improve my movie making, because I want to make videos, little home movies. I want to make all sorts of videos, and this is good. This has been getting me lots of practice with that, just getting me thinking about planning and video planning, and just thinking of my audience. It's strange. I guess I don't mind betraying or hurting myself, but when other people are on the line, it's then that's when I really care. So appreciate you listening and just sticking by me, because it's really helping. Next thing to talk about is preparing. Preparing would be there are no order, by the way, but preparing would be just the next thing on my list. After about 5 years of drinking, I'm pretty familiar with my drinking habits. I know the opportunities that my mind identifies. I know the times. I know how my mind is. I'm starting to figure out the strings of code that the addiction's using to drive or take control. And when I start just preparing for when I have those thoughts or those times, because I know when they're going to come. That is the trick, or at least a trick. I know I like to, in the past I've gotten drinks when I've gotten off work, and I've gotten I've gotten drinks when I was off work, when I was done. Off work, I was supposed to go home, stop by real quick at a gas station and just pick one up. Wait till everybody's asleep and drink, or maybe get it after everyone's asleep. Things like that. So knowing that I will have these thoughts at this time, and writing down drive home, no gas station, write that down. Next thing, go home and spend time with wife. Just talk to her, tell her how her day was, tell her how my day was, ask her how her day was. I've even taken my kids out for walks at night, little things to help them. And then cleaning, preparing chores, things like that. Just having a list of a few things to do when I know it's going to come up. Just preparation, simple preparation is all it is. The hard part with that is that, my mind knows that all the alcohol doors, you can buy alcohol until 2 a.m. So lately I've been feeling a little, I've had to trap myself. I've literally had to trap myself in the helm. I didn't lock my keys somewhere and then flush that key down. I didn't go that far, but I've made it so when I say trap myself, sometimes in the past where I've wanted alcohol and then instead I left my house to go get food. I thought I would feel off the leash and in control, and really what was happening was I was finding an excuse to get out in order to in order to pick up alcohol. So it ended up just working against me. So I've trapped myself, just work on chores or until 2 a.m., till 2:30 a.m., just pacing, doing everything I can, which I'll go over more in this list. Just trap myself till after 2, make sure the gas stations and everything, they lock their doors after that, so it's just inaccessible. They also can't sell it, but this is just when they'll, at 2 a.m. they lock it up. For those times, that's for when I'm having those trying to trap myself times, that's where the next tool comes in. Reading and writing. Reading and writing has been very helpful. Friends and family have suggested this to me, but just even things I already know, just writing down, don't drink, don't drink, don't drink, don't drink. I don't need it. I don't need it. It feels stupid because you already know it, but just writing it down and gluing it into your head, it's a chore, but it's work. But your house doesn't get clean without you cleaning it. I have to do this maintenance, so just keeping everything written down and then reading up on lots of things. I mean, I've been reading up on alcoholism for a while, and I still am, but lately reading into how to be better at YouTube and how to make websites and philosophy. I'm a philosophy fan too, so reading Stoic philosophy helps to maintain center, balance, and control. So that's been helping. Number 4, this is all in no order, by the way, none of importance. These are just 5 things that help me. Number 4, connections. This might be the single most important one because everything else is kind of revolved around this. But connections, reaching out to people, spending more time with whom I already love, who I already have fun with, and making new friends. I've even been telling people who are just acquaintances kind of about my problem, what I'm doing about it, just trying to brag, and I've gotten, it's kind of scary doing that, just to reveal your vulnerabilities and weaknesses, right up front. But I mean, not immediately, I know them, but it's still hard and uncomfortable. But I've gotten lots of good feedback. People have been really, excited, and every time I bring it up, I say like, hey, I've got, an uncle or a cousin who really struggles with it, and they'll just remind me of, they'll tell me about someone who they know who struggles with it and needs help too. So I've just gotten lots of good feedback talking about it, just keeping that curtain lifted, not thinking it's all on myself too. I mean, it is on me, but it's just a way of looking at it. Sharing it with people makes it feel like you're not tackling this problem alone. You don't even have to ask them for help. Just say, hey, this is what I'm doing, and I'm just proud of myself. And people fist bump me, say, hey, good job. So it's really good feedback with this. It's really helped my motivation. Finally, this is probably tied for number 1 for the most important part, because everything kind of revolves around this too. But my inspirations, and I'll go into more details for this in its own video, but just keeping my inspirations written down and just always present, that's just been so critical. They help remind me of the ideal self I'm shooting for, who I want to be, what I can become, what I can do, everything I can bring, what I can make, the fun I can have, all the cool opportunities. I'll go over these inspirations more in detail. I knew length would be a problem here, so it's its own video. I mean, the inspirations also remind me of the bad things that can happen to me what can I lose? What's at stake? So just keeping that close is keeping my inspirations and people close are just what's helping me the most. I remember watching a TED Talks some time ago, a couple years ago, and I'll probably have a video about that one specifically, but the thesis was that the opposite of addiction is connection, and it was just about how we need to. It's all a social thing. I'm gonna bring that up in a video on its own. It really deserves its own attention because it was a really interesting insight on addiction. And even though I don't feel any of it's like 100% concrete, there's still so much more that we have to learn about it. I really think a lot of our problems are more social than we think, our social behaviors, and addiction is absolutely one of them, because I used to be able to drink no problem. I used to be able to go to a bar or just hang out with a friend, get drunk, and then just never feel anything again, never want alcohol again. And something over time changed my perspective. It could be chemical body thing. Definitely is that to a degree, but so much of this is also social too. But that's for another video. For now, this is the top or 5 things that are just helping me right now go this far. So thanks for watching and listening. I will update you again tomorrow and with another episode, and we'll see what's to come. Again, thanks for listening, and have a great night.